A father suffocates his 3 little girls with plastic bags. A 16-year-old gets lured online, tortured, then dismembered. A convicted killer walks out of prison dressed as a guard. These aren't movie plots, they all happened this month. 5 cases, 5 nightmares, and some killers are still free. Let's get into it. Number 5, The Devil in the Ozarks. They say the devil you know is better than the unknown. But what if the devil was wearing a badge? Grant Hardin was police chief in Gateway, Arkansas in 2016. A year later, he shot a city employee in cold blood. His DNA then matched a 1997 sexual assault on a teacher. He got 80 years 40 for murder, 40 for the assault. You'd think that's the end, right? Nope. On May 25th, an officer pushed a cart through the corridor. The guard at the gate let him walk right out. 20 minutes later, they realized something was wrong. That officer wasn't an officer at all. It was Hardin in a makeshift guard uniform. He spent years as a cop, so he knew the moves. As a model prisoner, he got access most inmates don't get. He pieced together a disguise and walked out the front door. For 12 days, they hunted him with drones and bloodhounds. Storms and flooding from Moccasin Creek slowed them down. It looked like Hardin had pulled it off. But here's the kicker. On June 6th, they found him just 1.5 miles from the prison. Sweat-stained shirt, dirty pants, baseball cap, totally defeated. All that planning, and he didn't even leave the county. Now he's at high-security Varner unit, nobody's walking out of there. But here's what should bother you. Why was a dangerous murderer kept in medium-security prison? The system let a devil dress up and stroll out. That's not a prison break, that's a failure. Number 4, the Tonto Triangle. 2 high school kids wanted a weekend under the stars. They ended up executed at their campsite. On May 27th, Pandora Cools, 18, and Evan Clark, 17, were found, shot to death near Mount Ord in Tonto National Forest. Execution style, no motive, no suspects, no answers. If that sounds random, here's where it gets creepy. 3 months earlier, another teen's body was found there. 14-year-old Emily Pike, dismembered, discovered 70 miles from home. Still unsolved, still no arrests. And if you dig deeper, there's more. In 2003, Lisa Guerrero, 19, and Brandon Rumba, 20, went camping. They couldn't afford Disneyland, so they chose the wilderness. Found zipped in sleeping bags, both shot in the head. 50 miles from where Pandora and Evan died, still unsolved. Since the 1970s, at least 6 young people murdered out here. All unsolved, all eerily similar peaceful spots, brutal killings. The FBI's involved, but they say there's no connection. How many coincidences before it stops being one? Is there a serial killer hunting campers in Arizona? Or is this just a place where bad things happen? 2 weeks before he died, Evan wrote his mom a letter. "You deserve the world. I'm so lucky to be your son." That was the last thing she'd ever get from him. Number 3, Cryptic Captivity. A $35,000 a month Soho townhouse with marble countertops. Also a chicken wire cage and a 17-day kidnapping. Welcome to the dark side of crypto wealth. On May 6th, Italian crypto trader Michael Carteran, 28, flew to New York. John Waltz, 37, and William Duplessis, 33, promised to help him. They said they'd recover his lost Bitcoin. Instead, they took his phone, passport, and laptop immediately. Then they demanded his crypto passwords. Michael said no. What followed was 17 days of absolute brutality. Beatings, pistol whipping, electric shocks with alligator clips. They locked him in a chicken wire cage, poured tequila on him. They dangled him upside down from a 5-story balcony. The whole time, drug-fueled parties raged around him. Neighbors called it a high-end frat house. After 17 days, Michael saw his chance. He told them he'd finally give up the password. When Waltz left to grab the laptop, Michael bolted barefoot. He found a traffic cop and begged for help. Cops raided the place, found photos, chainsaws, the whole setup. Now here's where it gets weird. The defense has footage of Michael shopping and eating at cafes, all while he was supposedly kidnapped. Prosecution says that psychological manipulation controlled freedom. Either way, both men are behind bars awaiting trial. And this won't be the last crypto kidnapping. No bank vaults to crack, no getaway cars needed. Just get someone's password, millions could be yours in seconds. The age of crypto is also the age of crypto torture. Number 2, the trap. If you're a parent, this one's gonna hit hard. A 16-year-old girl, curious and trusting, looking to connect. She downloaded a dating app and met someone who understood her. She thought she was walking into a friendship. She walked into a slaughterhouse. On February 24th, 2025, Minda Corsetti disappeared. She'd been talking to 35-year-old Stephen Gress on Grindr. Gress and his girlfriend Michelle Brandis, 37, lured her to Florida. She stayed at their home for about a week. Then something went horribly wrong. A dispute over missing jewelry, that's what triggered it. But what they did wasn't rage, it was methodical. Over several days, they beat and tortured this 16-year-old. They put a pool ball in a sock and shoved it in her mouth. Then they wrapped plastic around her head and suffocated her. After she died, they dismembered her body into trash bags. Then they went to Popeyes, played mini golf, drove around with her. Eventually, they dumped the bags in a Ruskin, Florida dumpster. By the time investigators arrived, the trash was incinerated. There's nothing left of her to bury. Both are charged with first-degree murder trials in July. But here's the part that could change everything. Minda's family filed a $750 million lawsuit against Grindr. The lawsuit says Grindr has almost no age verification, no facial recognition, no real ID checks, just a checkbox. The app knowingly lets minors join for fast, anonymous sign-ups. It gives users exact GPS coordinates. Predators can find targets instantly. If a jury agrees Grindr enabled predators, this sets a precedent. Not just for this app, for every platform hiding behind anonymity. Minda's gone, but maybe her death forces real change. If you're a parent, check your kid's phone tonight. Not because you don't trust them, because predators are waiting. Number 1, the Cascade Murders. This one's the hardest to talk about. 3 little girls, Peyton, 9, Evelyn, 8, Olivia, 5. Their father was supposed to bring them home after a visit. He never showed up. 3 days later, a deputy found them, dumped down an embankment near Leavenworth, Washington, just 11 miles from the Pacific Crest Trail. They were bound with zip ties, the kind for electrical cables, plastic bags placed over their heads. Their own father did this. Travis Decker, 32, former U.S. Army infantry from 2013 to 2021. Afghanistan deployment, time with the elite 75th Ranger Regiment. This man knows how to survive in the wild. His own father said he once lived off-grid for 2.5 months. Basically Rambo, except nobody's rooting for him. At the scene, his truck had 2 bloody handprints on the tailgate. His dog was there, alive, but Decker was gone. Authorities believe he fled into the Cascade Mountains. Hikers spotted a man out of place alone, avoiding eye contact, unprepared. A helicopter saw someone matching his description near Kolchuk Lake. When the chopper passed, the man bolted for cover. Tracking teams, K-9 units, and helicopters swarmed the area. They traced footprints to Icicle Creek trailhead off Highway 97. But Decker kept moving and vanished again. Here's what makes this even more tragic. His ex-wife Whitney warned the court about his mental health. She said he was living in his truck, becoming increasingly unstable. She begged them to stop overnight visits until he stabilized. The court ignored her. Now 3 little girls are dead, and that court has blood on its hands. As of right now, Travis Decker is still out there, 5 feet 8 inches, 190 pounds, brown eyes, black hair. Last known direction north, toward the Canadian border. Before disappearing, he searched online for jobs in Canada. If you're in Washington or near the border, keep your eyes open. Going hiking or camping this summer, be aware you might not be alone. 5 stories, 5 nightmares, 1 common thread. A prison let a killer walk out dressed as a guard. A court ignored a mother's desperate warnings. A dating app handed a child to predators. 50 years of Arizona murders, and still no arrests. Maybe the scariest thing isn't the killers themselves. It's the systems that were supposed to protect us and didn't. Stay safe out there. Hopefully next month will be less dark, but probably not.